Now, this time last year, I stood here before you all and presented a short but perfectly formed thesis in which I outlined how Tam O'Shanter is not actually, as many people believe, a cautionary tale about drunkenness and debauchery. Rather, it's a story that warns against the dangers of marriage, particularly to a querulous and quarrelsome wife, for if Tam had no wife, he would never have had to leave the safety and comfort of the pub. Now, in the intervening 12 months, I don't think this is really working. In the intervening 12 months, I've had some time to reflect further on this poem, and it strikes me, can someone help me? It strikes me that there's a yet more profound message buried deep within the stanzas. And it's a message about temerity. For if Tam, like the cat at the adage, had let I dare not wait upon I would, then he would have deprived himself of a story off which he could have drunk and dined for quite some considerable time. And so I think what Burns is trying to tell us is this: eat, drink, and be bold. But if you're going to shout at witches, make sure that you've got a reliable and fast means of transportation. This is Tam O'Shanter. When Chapman Billies leave the street and Drouthy Niebers meet, when market days are wearing late and folk begin to pack the gate, as we sit boozing at an appy and getting foo and hunka happy, aye, we think on the lying Scots miles, the mosses, water, slaps and stiles that lie between us and our hame, where sits our sulky, sullen dame, gathering her brows like a gathering storm, and nursing her wrath to keep it warm. Now, this truth finds honest Tam O'Shanter as he frae air a night did canter. All there, while ne'er a town surpasses, for honest men and bonny lasses. Aye, but Tam hadst thou but been so wise as ta'en that ain wife Kate's advice, aye, she told thee weel it was a skellum, a blethering, blustering, drunken blellum, that frae November till October market day there was na sober, that ilka milder wi' the miller that sat as lang as thou hadst siller. And every nag was caught a shoe on the smith and he got roaring foo on. And at the Lord's house, even on Sunday, that drank wi' Captain Jean till Monday, she prophesied that late or soon there would be found deep drowned in Doon or catched wi' warlocks of the muck by Alloway's old haunted cuck. Gentle days. It gars me greet to think how many counsels sweet, how many lengthened, sage advices the husband for the wife despises. But to our tale, a market night. Now Tam had got planted, unca right, fast by an ingle, bleezing finely where reeman swats that drink divine, and at his elbow, Suitor Johnny, his ancient, trusty, drouthy crony, Tam looed him like a very brother. It had been foo for weeks together. Now, the night drave on with sangs and clatter, and aye, the ale was growing better. The landlady and Tam grew gracious, with secret favours sweet and precious. The suitor told his queerest stories. The landlord's laugh was ready chorus. I'd storm without my rare rissing. Tam didna mind the storm a whistle. Care. Mad to see a man so happy. He drowned himself among the nappy, As bees flee hame with lades of treasure, their minutes winged their way with pleasure. Kings may be blessed, oh, but Tam was glorious, o'er all the ills of life victorious. But minutes, like poppies spread, you seize the flower, and its bloom is shed, or like the snow falls in the river, a moment white and then gone forever. Or like the borealis race that flit ere you can point their place. Or like the rainbow's lovely form, vanishing amidst the storm. No man can tether time nor tide, the hour approaches, Tam, maun ride. That hour, on night's black arch, the keystone, that dreary hour he mounts his beastie, and sick a night he tacks the road in, as ne'er poor sinner was abroad in. The wind blew as 'twould blown its last, the rattling storm rose in the blast, the speedy gleams of darkness swallowed. Loud, deep and lang the thunder bellowed. And that night, a child might understand the daily business of his hand. But we'll mount it on his grey mare Meg, oh, a better, never lifted leg. Tam skelp it on through dub and mire, despising wind and rain and fire, whilst hidden fast his git blue bonnet, whilst crooning or an old Scotch sonnet, whilst glowering around with prudent cares, lest bogles catch him unawares, because Kirk Alloway was drawn nigh, where ghaists and hoolits nightly cry. And by this time, he was crossed the ford, where in the snow the chapman smote, and past the bucks in Meeklestane, where drunken Charlie bracks neckbane, and by the winds and past the cairn, where hunters fun that murdered bairn, and by the thorn aboon the well, where Mungo's mither hanged hersel. Before him, doon pours all her floods. The Dublin storm roars through the woods, the lightnings flash from pole to pole. Near and more near the thunders roll, when, glimmering through the groaning trees, Kirk Alloway seemed in a blaze. Through Ilkabor the beams were glancing, and loud resounded mirth and dancing. Inspiring bold John Barleycorn, what dangers thou canst make us scorn. With Tipney, we fear no evil. With Ushkaba, we'll face the devil. Now, the swat sair-aimed in Tammy's noddle, fair play, he card na deals a boddle. But Maggie stood, right sair astonished, that by the heel and hand admonished, she ventured forward on the light. And thou, Tam saw an uncursed sight. Warlocks and witches in a dance, nay, cotillon bret new fae France, but hornpipes, jigs, strathspeys and reels put life and metal in their heels. A winnock bunker in the east, there sat old Nick in shape a beast. A towsy type, black, grim and large, to gie them music was his charge. He screwed the pipes and gat them skirl till roof and rafters all did dirl. Coffins stood round like open presses that shod the dead in their last dresses. And by some devilish, cantrap sleight, each in his cold hand held a light, of which heroic Tam was able to note upon the Haley table a murderer's banes and gibbet urns, twa span-lang wee unchristened bairns. A thief, you cut it for your rape, and his last gasp his gab did gape. 5 tomahawks with blood red rusted, 5 scimitars with murder crusted, a garter, which a babe had strangled, a knife, a father's throat had mangled, the grey hairs yet stuck to the heft, whom his ain son o' life bereft. 5 lawyers' tongues turned inside out, with eyes seamed like a beggar's clout. 5 priests' hearts, rotten, black as muck, lay stinking, vile in every nuke. Were mair horrible and awful, which, even to name would be unlawful. But as Tammy glowered, amazed and curious, the mirth and fun grew fast and furious. The piper, loud and louder blew, the dancers quick and quicker flew. They reeled, they set, they crossed, they cleekit, till ilka carlin swat and reeking. And cooster durries to the whack and link it aye in her sack. Now Tam had they been queens all plump and strapping in their teens. Their sacks, instead of creasy flannin been, snow white 1700 linen. Their breeks of mine, my only pair, the yins were plush, I get blue hair. I would have gied them half my hurdies for a blink. The bonny birdies. But with the bedlams, old and droll, rigwoody hags with spina fold, louping and flinging on a crummock. I wonder it didn't turn their stomach. But Tam ken what was what. With Brawley, there was a winsome wench in Whalley. That night, enlisted in the corps, lying after Kent on Carrickshore, for mony a beast to dead she shot, and perished mony a bonny boat, and shook baith meikle corn and bear, and kept the countryside in fear. Her cutty sack were paisley harm, but while a lassie she had worn, in longitude, though sorely scanty, it was her best, and she was vaunty. Aye, but little kent thy reverend granny, that sack she coughed for her wee nanny with 12 pound Scots. 'Twas all her riches would ever have graced a dance of witches. But here, my muse, her wing mon cour, such flights are far beyond her power, to sing Hanani lap and flying. A supple jade she was, and strang. And how Tam stood like yin bewitched, and thought his very een enriched. Even Satan glowered, and fidged fu fain, and hotched and blew a might and mantle, for stuck caper sign another Tam tint his reason altogether, and cries out, "Well done, Cutty Sark!" And in an instant, all was dark. And scarcely had he Maggie rallied, when out the hellish legion sallied, as bees buzz out with angry fight, when plundering herds assail their bike, as open pussy's mortal foes, when pop she starts afore their nose, as eager runs the market crowd, when "Catch the thief!" resounds aloud. So Maggie runs, the witches follow, with many an aldrich screech and hollow. Tam, will get thy fern, and hell will roast you like a herring. In vain thy Kate awaits thy coming, but Kate soon will be a woeful woman. Now, do thy speedy utmost, Meg, and win the key stain of the brig. They're at them now, thy tell me toss, for a running stream they darena cross. But ere the key stain she could make, the faint a tail she had to shake, for Nanny, far before the rest, hard upon noble Maggie pressed, and she flew at Tam with furious zeal. But little wist she Maggie's mettle. A spring got off her master hail, but left behind her ain grey tail. The carlin clodder by the rump, and left poor Maggie scarce a stump. Now, this tale of truth shall read, ilk man and mother's son, take heed, for if to drink ye are inclined, or cutty sarks are on in the mind, think, ye may buy the joys or dear. Remember, Tam O'Shanter's mare, O'Hira.